It was senior day at Sherman Field as Coach Curley and the rest of the Huskies honored their 14 seniors, trying to make it 5-0 at home. Huskies ranked number 22 in the country in a rainy day at Sherman Field. To the highlights we go, and it was Tiffin getting on the board first as Antonio Pipkin hits Tony Sheed from 4 yards out, makes the score 7-0. Next drive, Huskies have to punt, but they run into the punter, extends the drive. Kevin Miller with a big run up the middle, and the Huskies are into Tiffin territory on the very next play. Brandon Cowie with the play action to Miller once again. He's going to go deep, and he's going to find senior Andrew Clark in the end zone. The Huskies tie it up at 7-all in the first quarter. Second quarter of action, Huskies driving. Here is Ian Fisher with the catch. Now we go to the second. Dave Walter with the catch. Now Brandon Cowan looking for Walter again. He's got him in the end zone. On third down, the Huskies take a 14-7 lead. Back come the Dragons. Pipkin, plenty of time, looking deep into the end zone. He's going to find Charles Holland, and the score would be tied at 14-all. Later in the second quarter, pass is tipped up. Nick Brajak tips it up in the air. Gervais pulls it down. He's got a blocker in front of him. That's Tanner Egan. And the senior Gervais with the pick six. The Huskies will take the lead 20-14. Extra point was missed. That would come into play later. Before the half, the Huskies stop the threat as Brandon Hutchison sacks Pipkin, and the halftime score 20-14. Second half, after the Huskies were stopped on downs, is going to be Pipkin looking deep into the end zone. He's going to find Holland once again, and all of a sudden the Dragons are up 21-20. Back come the Huskies the other way. Here's Cowie looking over the middle. He's going to find Walter for a big gain, and then Miller once again getting the Huskies all the way down inside the red zone. Huskies will settle for a 37-yard field goal. Josh King splits the uprights here, and Michigan Tech regains the lead 23-21. Next drive is Tiffin answering the field goal, and they go back up by a point. So back come the Huskies. It's going to be a trick play. David Walter finding Brandon Cowie, who was a two-time All-GLIAC wide receiver, and a big gainer there. And then Kevin Miller up the middle, making a couple men miss, fighting his way inside the 5-yard line before Cowie finds Walter. Another great diving catch for the junior wide receiver, and the Huskies are up by 5. They want to make it 7, so here comes Kevin Miller on the option play, and the Huskies get the 2-point conversion and go up 31-24. Things getting tense as the Huskies cling to a 7-point lead. Here's Tiffin trying to go in the end zone. They fumble the football. Could have been the end of the game. We're under a minute here, but it's going to be recovered by the Dragons. And then on the very next play, it is going to be Antonio Pipkin once again. Charles Holland in the back of the end zone gets a foot down, says the official, and they kick the extra point. We are tied and into overtime. It is Pipkin completing the pass to Tony Sheed. He's going to lose the football, but the official's going to rule him down. Huskies think they have the ball. They do not. Very next play, they go over the middle. Holland once again, his 4th touchdown of the game, and they have a 38-31 lead. Huskies come back with their chance in overtime. Miller up the gut. Once again, Miller, he's going to get all the way down to the 1-yard line. You know where the Huskies are going to go now, and it's going to be Alex Sherbanow from 1 yard out. He's going to bounce off the line. Official's going to come in. Does he get the touchdown or not? Just take a look at how long the officials take to make this call. Still waiting, still waiting. Is it a touchdown? Yes, Huskies have the touchdown. They go for 2. And here's the same play, the option play. Miller looking for the corner and for the win. Huskies win it 39-38 in overtime. Their third 1-point victory at Sherman Field this season. The celebration is on. Michigan Tech now 10-2 in their last 12 games, decided by a touchdown or less. 4 of them have come at Sherman Field this season. Here's Coach Tom Curley to talk about it.
It was planned. You know, I told our defensive staff we were going to go for it. They were, everybody lived with it because you got to be ready. Because if he doesn't get in, now the whole atmosphere changed. But luckily, we made a play, and Kevin Miller did a great job of breaking through a tackle and getting the end zone.
More than 800 yards of total offense in the game, and it was 421 for the Dragons, 409 yards for the Michigan Tech Huskies. Despite the ball hitting the turf many times in the game, only 1 turnover, and that was the interception by Gervais, which he returned for a touchdown. Leading rusher in the game was Jerry Brown, 168 yards. Kevin Miller with 98 yards for Michigan Tech. Cowie 20 of 24 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns.
We were comfortable. We were prepared. We knew what we wanted to do. we were hopefully Tiffin gave us the look that, we wanted on those plays, and they did, and we were able to convert. Our offensive line did a great job blocking. The two wideouts, Dave and Clark, absolutely fantastic, and Kevin made the play. So
this one was for 14 guys that were playing their last game on this field. And they went undefeated. You can't ask any more from there. 4 of the 5 games where you got to call those coin flip games.
Words can't really express the feelings. We've been in too many of these games, it feels like, but I'm so ecstatic for the senior class to be able to go out undefeated, their senior season, and in front of the crowd that we had in this kind of crummy weather. It was awesome.
We played well. I think we played well, and Coach had some. I don't know the word for it, but it was a big call at the end to go for 2. We definitely like that. Well, I came up and Nick Braziak actually hit him. So Nick made the play for me, and as soon as I got the ball, I saw Tanner Egan in front of me, and I knew I was following him the whole entire way after that. So
I wish I could put it into words. Tech is unbelievable. The community, the coaches. I mean, if I could, I can't just put a word to it. I'm sorry, but it's unreal. It's been a journey, and I'm sure one day I'll be able to sit back and look at it and think about it. It's been quite the trip, that's for sure.
They win for Michigan Tech. They are now 6-2 overall. Still have their hopes alive for an NCAA tournament berth. They've got 2 games remaining. Next one coming on the road at number 5 ranked Ashland, and that kickoff will be at 1 o'clock down in Ashland, Ohio.